Hello everybody, what's up? So quickly before we start here, this video will be handled a little bit differently. Instead of sounding like a book reading, this is going to sound like I'm teaching a class, in the sense that it's going to be a lot more personal, there's going to be a lot more ad-libbing, I'm only reading off bullet points instead of a script. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Alright, so today we are talking about the clan history, and if I gloss over a topic or I don't cover anything at all, most likely I will be returning to make a more detailed video at a later date. I'm trying to keep videos 12 minutes and under. So with that, we're going to get right into clan history. So the clans were created by Nicholas Kerensky, son of Alexander Kerensky, after the second exodus from the Pentagon worlds, when the Exodus Civil War broke out on these worlds, and it was just a little too chaotic for them, and they were trying to get away from the chaos when they originally left the Inner Sphere. So it doesn't make sense to stick around. So upon reaching Stronamecti, Nicholas Kerensky made the original 22 clans and a new way of life that would preserve themselves from utter destruction within reason, and to erase the Inner Sphere-ness that still caused the friction and, you know, the infighting that was going on that essentially caused the Exodus Civil War. So they instead adopted a new mentality, which is the clans, and I'll get into what that mentality is later on in this video. So as part of founding the clans, new structure was required, and thus the first trials of position took place for the 22 khans to be chosen for each clan. Through rigorous testing, regardless of gender, only the strongest and most skilled warriors were chosen on the belief to keep the new civilization strong and keep it from deteriorating as time goes on. These original 800 people that were tested out of the thousands would be the first clanners. In June 2815, that is a year, I know I said that weird, Nicholas Kerensky declared himself illKhan of the clans when competing in his trials. That's actually pretty cool. So at this point, with the clans made and pretty stable, there was one loose end that they still had, which was the Pentagon worlds that were still in chaos from the Exodus Civil War. And thus the plans for what would be called Operation Klondike began to take place. The goal and purpose of this operation was to reclaim the Pentagon worlds and return those SLDF members to the new society of clans. This success was achieved in May of 2822, when the Pentagon worlds were liberated, and the times after liberation revealed a brutal side of Nicholas Kerensky, and some clans started to doubt his leadership. And of course, the loudest among them was that of Clan Jade Falcon, aka the Green Budgies. However, the Khans, there's a lib here because the Khans and Clan Jade Falcon were here and there. There are a few of them in the short time. Essentially, they eliminated what these naysayers were doing, and they called it a cancer, essentially, within their clan. But this event would be known as the culling, and Clan Jade Falcon was once again loyally following Nicholas Kerensky. After this event, the only opposition to Kerensky's leadership was in Clan Wolverine. And this is going to be an interesting story from here on, so get ready for this. So, by later in August of 2823, Clan Wolverine was a really huge problem. They were, I shouldn't say defaulting, but they had causing issues within the clan structure. They were not really following Kerensky's orders, visions, and they weren't really listening to the other clans who were loyal to him. So, in August, the Council of Khans convened on Stronamecti and petitioned for the first ever trial of annihilation against Clan Wolverine, and it was passed. So, Clan Wolverine got absolutely decimated. So now that they are no longer questioned, and when I say they, I meant Nicholas Kerensky and the rest of the clans, the illKhan set about building clan society to reasonable perfection, which included colonization of new worlds, building of industry, population growth, all that type of stuff, and was greatly worked on to actual pre-war levels. And when I say pre-war, I'm talking right before the clan invasion. Like, they built up very fast and they're strong. It was amazing to essentially see them in their prime state, just because it was such a small population that originally left the Inner Sphere, and now they're some of the, actually they are the most advanced society that currently exists within BattleTech. But unfortunately, as with all good things, they must come to an end, and tragedy struck during a trial of refusal between Clan Wolf and Clan Widowmaker that devolved into a melee between the two Khans. So when Nicholas stepped in to cease the fight and essentially scold them for being children, the Widowmaker Khan accidentally fired on and killed Kerensky. And yeah, as you can tell, this is not going to end very well for Clan Widowmaker. So due to the crime, the conglomerate of clans raised Clan Widowmaker into almost nothing, agreeing as a group that when Widowmaker was absolutely decimated into submission, Clan Wolf had rights to absorb what remained of Widowmaker. Just as kind of like reference saying like, yeah, this was bad, here's something that you can do to grow yourselves back up to where you were. So essentially, the next several hundred years after this event led to clan society living in a golden age, especially in the years between 2830 and 2930. This golden age saw massive political, industrial, and populational advances, and I know populational probably isn't a word, but you probably get what I mean regardless. Especially with the advent of Clan Coyote fielding the first ever Omnimech in 2854. I really wish I knew what Omnimech this was, but there is no record of what Omnimech it was. It was probably one that was made and very quickly obsoleted into oblivion. So there's no record of this, unfortunately. And also the introduction of battle armor was brought by Clan Wolf in 2868, and the first platform for what would be known as elemental battle armor. Now, please don't mistake this as the battle armor being elemental battle armor. Elementals didn't show up until just before clan invasion. So it's not the same thing, but it is the same thing. So in the political century, the clans coalesced around two very prominent and competing viewpoints. Crusaders, who believed it was their right to re-establish the Star League through force, and themselves as leaders. Makes sense, in a way. And then you have the Wardens believing it was their mission to protect the Inner Sphere from outside threats while maintaining their own distinct future. So in a sense, think of it as the rightful heirs versus the protective guardians of life and society. Both are right, both are wrong in their own ways. Again, it's a theological debate, and you can think what you want and not be wrong. Maybe. Depends on the clan. Anyways, the loudest of the Crusaders, Clan Jade Falcon, were the forefront of the Crusaders and was quickly, and by quick I'm talking weeks after these ideologies were named, taken by Clan Smoke Jaguar. So with Clan Smoke Jaguar head of the Crusaders, considering their Khan Leo Showers first introduced the idea of Crusaders, the head of the Wardens was unanimously, man, I'm flubbing a lot of words today, agreed upon to be Clan Wolf. Shout out to the wolves that howl constantly. So with the headbutting clans, their golden age strong, it was time to consider what was next for them. To the Wardens, it was clear to continue building and watching. To the Crusaders, something completely different, and they thought it was time to return to the Inner Sphere. So now the year is 2980, and Khan Leo Showers of Clan Smoke Jaguar put forth the idea to the council to make a move and invade the Inner Sphere. This motion was swiftly dealt with and denied by main Wardens Clan Wolf and Clan Coyote. But the Wardens knew that the Crusaders could not be held back forever because there are more Crusader clans than Wardens at this point, and they would eventually gain enough support to eventually invade. So they were basically starting ways to plan on how long to delay the invasion and also reduce the amount of damage that the Crusaders would cause to the Inner Sphere. And this plays an important part in a future topic as well. So the debate of the invading continued for decades, and by the year 3000, majority of the clans were rearing to go, including some of the Wardens. And when I say some of the Wardens, that includes Clan Ghost Bear. So when news of the Third and Fourth Succession Wars reached the Clan Watchers being the intelligence gathering side of the clans, more votes to invade were petitioned, but at this point only Clan Wolf was able to put a stop to it because of their size, rights, and honor, all that type of stuff, because that's how clan society works at this point. But as we all know, and I said previously, eventually the Crusaders would get their wish. But the details of that will be left for another chapter. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. The next lore topic video will be probably further down the pipe than I'd like, because I leave for a vacation in very early July, so I'll probably start work on another lore video shortly after that, and the third lore video will be up before the end of July. So I appreciate your guys' patience, and trust me, the weird success that I've seen of the first lore video was a complete surprise to me, and I only just want to make more content. But as with things right now, things are still a little bit busy. Even pushing this video out was a stretch, but I hope that in the future I'll be able to put out regular lore content and keep you guys entertained as much as I can. So again, thank you for the support and thank you for watching. And until then, enjoy your time in BattleTech and destroy the free birth.